Hello everyone, Social Coach Michael Knight here, and today what we're going to be talking about is the concept of loneliness. Now, working as a social coach, I have a lot of people come to me because they're lonely, and they want to improve their social skills for the purpose of being able to make more friends more easily and be able to date more people and find a significant other. But in today's video, what I want to drill down into is more of the concept of loneliness and maybe touch on some things you haven't thought about or heard before. Because all the standard advice is, oh, you're lonely? Well, just go out and meet new people, sign up for new events. You just need to surround yourself with more people doing the same interest with you. And those things are true. That's the standard advice. And one thing I will say is, make sure you don't stop interacting with people altogether, because social skills are like any other skill, like training for a sport, and they atrophy over time if you're not working them out. And I know right now that we're in a very awkward phase in the world where everyone's locked down and it's even becoming illegal to socialize in public places. Luckily, I'm in a country that doesn't have too many restrictions and I live with my girlfriend, so the pain for me is probably nowhere near the same pain that some people may be feeling that are really socially isolated. And I think we're going to be dealing with the consequences for this from the years to come. But the core concept that I want to get across to you today is the fact that loneliness has very little to do with being surrounded by other people. The most lonely I ever felt in my life was when I was surrounded by other people. It was during my bachelor studies in computer engineering, and I was in lecture halls filled with hundreds of people. I was meeting with groups of friends and colleagues to do assignments outside of class, but I still felt incredibly lonely. So the loneliness had nothing to do with the fact that there was a person in the chair next to me. What loneliness has to do with is a sense of connection, and different kinds of connection. There's a connection to a higher purpose, a higher cause, and then there's the more typical person-to-person human connection. There can be many reasons why someone may have trouble connecting with other people. One thing is, maybe you're just not meant to connect. You have different beliefs and value systems that don't align with the other person, and that's completely natural. Maybe you're even in an environment where it makes it very hard for you to meet the type of people who do align with your values. And another thing is, maybe you're not really connected with yourself and you don't even know what your true values are. Because if you don't know what you value, it's hard to connect with other people, because that's where the real connections come from. It comes from doing things together, achieving things together, and sharing a similar values and belief system. And a lot of people nowadays, they don't really know what they've been told maybe what they should believe and think, but it's not really in their core. They haven't really discovered it for themselves. And it's through the discovery of themselves and really knowing themselves that they can bring into their lives other people that share the same beliefs and values. This is one of the main reasons why I left the United States almost 10 years ago. I don't hate the United States, I still love my country, but at the time I didn't even know what my core values were, and I didn't feel that they were aligning with the people and the environments that I was spending time in. Now if I went back, I think I would not have too hard of a time living there, because I know my values and I'll bring people into my life that share those values, because you attract what you are. Relating this back to the concept of loneliness, I remember when I first left the country and I went backpacking across Europe. I did it completely alone. And I remember standing at a train station in Germany, feeling just the weight of the straps of the backpack on my back, no one else around me, I can't even speak the native language, completely alone, and I felt wonderful. I loved the feeling of freedom. I loved the feeling of being able to go and do whatever I wanted and living my life in line with my own values and beliefs. And it didn't matter that there was no one else there to share it with me. I was fulfilled and connected enough with my true self that I didn't feel lonely. Sometimes loneliness results from when you're hiding from your true self. How do we hide from ourselves? We do it a lot of times because we're not doing what we really want to do. We're not really happy with ourselves and we kind of feel ashamed. So how do we hide? We bury ourselves by binging Netflix. We get into drugs and alcohol. Some of us just bury themselves in non-meaningful work. These are all ways that we kind of hide from our true self because we're ashamed that we know deep down that we're not really being true to our true selves. And if we can't really connect with ourselves, how are we supposed to connect with others? By becoming a man on his own purpose who can comfortably face himself, you're going to have a lot less trouble facing other people. Social media sites like Facebook and Instagram make it seem it's normal to have thousands of friends. It's not. In life, you're lucky to have a handful of good friends, and also lucky even to have one really good significant other or partner. Now, you can improve your social skills like I teach so that making new acquaintances is easy and so that you have more dating options than you would ever have time to pursue. But still, it takes time and investment to form real connections with people. Don't try to find fulfillment or salvation in another person. This is something you're going to need to find inside yourself. Plus, the neediness that you show as you try to get something from them is only going to drive them away. If you're having thoughts such as, but all I need is this other person to like me or love me, and that's all I need in the world, and just this one person, you're going to have a lot of trouble. Don't make another person the sole focus of your life. Other people want to join a life that's already cool and has things going for it. They don't want to be the singular focus of your life and the only thing you have going on. They want to come into a better life. They don't want you grabbing onto their life like it's a raft that's going to keep you from drowning. So let's recap what we've gone over so far. First, yes, do follow some of the typical advice of don't become completely socially isolated. Socializing with people is a muscle. It is like any other type of skill, and the more you do it, the better you're going to get. So do put yourself still into social environments. But additionally, also find your own path or journey to self-improvement or mastery in something. Now this can be anything. It can be working out, it can be learning an instrument, it can be learning any new skill, but it's something that is in line with your true self, and something that you can see improvement through your actions. It can also be just improving your social skills. That's what it was for me. That's what it is for a lot of my clients that I work with and coach on a weekly basis. This is their path of self-discovery because they know what they're doing is for themselves and they see themselves getting better. And this makes them more connected with themselves, which makes it easier for them to connect with others. You're going to have to stop hiding from your true self. You're going to have to stop suppressing that part of you that might feel a little ashamed or embarrassed that where you are in life or that you're not living your life in line with your values. And you got to get in touch with this because again, you need to connect with yourself before you can connect with others. And when it comes to connecting with others, it's always important to try to provide more value than you take. Now, provide value, I don't mean like buy them gifts or do them favors or do anything where you're trying to barter for attention or approval. You can provide value to a person by simply listening to them and being a non-judgmental ear, or offering some advice that can help them in some area of their life. Most important is that you don't come off looking desperate to get something from them, because ideally, you're already self-fulfilled and you don't need something from other people. But if you're not there yet, just keep this in mind. And finally, and maybe most importantly, don't think that there's something wrong with you just because you feel lonely. In some circumstances, you might be the healthiest person in an unhealthy environment. Having social anxiety or depression isn't something that has to prevent you from connecting with people for the rest of your life. If you'd like some help with some of these things, I have resources linked to in the description below. I provide one-on-one coaching with clients as well as written a book and have an online video course. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, since that would be doing me a huge favor when it comes to helping me build this channel. Also, please consider becoming a Patreon subscriber, because as a Patreon subscriber, you won't only be supporting my work, but also be getting unlimited access to the Enhanced EQ online video course I created. That's all for today. Until next time, ciao.